Haya, tuambie this one. Sio kaina mwambie. Okay, toko indera u. Sasa. Tuko salama.
Very good. Mumeingia sasa. Very good, very good, very good, very good. Yes. Bishop.
Ninawa watege kumata. Yesiara watege dakale de amutege romo muno. You get it, ya. Kamuta wake bidani kabaya. Atege romo muno. You get it, ya. Uno mwadani wandera gira. Aya. Heya. Aya.
Karibuni. Are we ready? I hope somebody can give me a cue. Yeah? Okay, thank you all for coming. Very honored to see so many of you here. Asanteni sana and welcome to Kwacha House. I have a statement to read, and I'll read it and thereafter take questions. So feel free to ask me anything you have in your hearts and minds. Yesterday, increasingly politicized and weaponized DCI purported to issue a 72-hour summons and orders requiring me to surrender non-existent 10 guns and 480 bullets. I am consulting with my lawyers on these summons. They are ingenuous, feeble, and a political witch hunt. The DCI has maliciously and politically been violating my fundamental rights and freedoms. Not too long ago, you saw ATPU break into these very same premises. They have been subjecting me to political persecution and repression, and this dates back all the way to the year 2017. However, I want to state categorically here that I will neither surrender nor succumb to this abuse of law enforcement agencies for political purposes. In June 2019, the High Court ordered that the state return all my firearms that were confiscated in 2017. The judge ruled that the state had acted irrationally by cutting away those guns while I still held a valid license. The court declared that my rights were violated by the DCI. The judge cited the actions of the DCI as being unlawful and actuated by malice. The court granted orders that all firearms be returned to me, and it has never happened. The High Court squashed the charges and summons that had been issued against me after finding that the case pressed against me was done out of bad faith and sinister motives. I want to reiterate what I said outside the courts in Milimani. George Kinoti is but a poodle in this political game. He is a convict. He was convicted last year in February by the courts. And really, a convict cannot be a police officer. In November 2021, the High Court sentenced Kinoti to 4 months imprisonment for disobeying that court order. He is an embodiment of impunity and abuse of power. He has not obeyed any of those orders. The judge earlier directed that the DCI return all firearms that were taken from my residence. Today, he has the audacity to ask me to give him firearms. The same Kinoti, and I think this is important people know, because it's important to articulate a persecution. The same Kinoti in 2017 took 3 vehicles from my home in Malindi. Those 3 vehicles for 5 years have been held in the police station, and those are high-end vehicles, rotting there, no charge, no nothing, no substantiation, but they have refused to release them. The same Kinoti tried to charge my father and I in Nyeri, charges that were dismissed, I can tell you, as completely malicious and unfounded. The latest summons and orders are very curious. They coincide with the ODM Party National Delegates Congress due to start February 25th. Earlier, I had warned that my party leader, with the help of Uhuru Kenyatta, were using the DCI to harass, intimidate, and silence me. The last time they raided my residence, I had planned to give notice of a special delegates congress. Mr. Odinga is in cohort with President Kenyatta, and they want to stop my presidential bid by whatever means. I will not be coward. Apparently, the National Executive Committee has illegally and unconstitutionally expunged my name from the list of delegates to the Party National Delegates Congress this coming weekend. This was apparently done in December 2021. Further, a large number of bona fide branch officials who are aligned to me have also been barred from attending the same NDC. In November 2021, the party leader tried to clandestinely change the party constitution in full violation of the party's constitution and Section 9 of the Political Parties Act. Mr. Odinga wanted the registrar of political parties to illegally approve changes to the party constitution on the procedure for entering into mergers, lowering the threshold for updating the members' register, and on the requirement for the quorum of meetings to an NGC. The changes to the party constitution are meant to tinker with the requirement of a requisition of a special delegates congress. When reason does not prevail, ODM, which is, and I've repeated this, like a new wing of this government of Uhuru Kenyatta, resorts to using agencies that we together fought to keep away. What they are doing to me now is what Raila and I went through when they raided my home, Muthaiga 44, in 2017. It is strange that Raila and his new cohorts are now partially in government, are employing the same tactics. Really, if ODM has learned the bad manners of using investigative agencies to silence reason, as he is doing now, what happens should he ascend to power? My only request to my beloved party, open the space for democracy. Open the door, open the door, open the door. The Registrar of Political Parties has given us until April 22nd for NDCs of parties that are participating in the 2022 election. Why don't they cancel the defective notice and issue one that is more inclusive? The party has extended the period for aspirants to apply for positions, including that of presidency. We want this process open. Open the door, open the door, open the door. Finally, it is a critical moment that all Kenyans collectively stand up and unyoke themselves from the stranglehold of the Kenyatta and Odinga families. The two families feel entitled and privileged while treating Kenyans as their subjects. The two families represent a parasitic predatory and a cruel leadership. It is an Itweka moment. At independence, we inherited a destructive and dangerous pandemic virus. It has been mutating. We have had difficult variants of this original virus. In every election cycle since 1964, we have seen the original virus mutating and taking different shapes and names. Today, we are told there are two horses. Nothing can be further from the truth. The two horses are nothing but the second generation of the original virus that is mutating into a third variant. It is another 60 years of slavery in the making. I want to assure Kenyans that I will be on the ballot, and where I will be is where the next government will be formed. It will be a government of the people and for the people of Kenya. It is a moment to cure the corrosive pandemic virus we inherited at independence. It is the end of 60 years of human and economic deprivation to our Kenyan people. It is not a working system. No, it is a political and economic systemic change of the system. I will uproot and change the rigged system that has dehumanized, deprived, and brutalized the Kenyan people in their millions. I call upon young Kenyans especially. This is a decisive mission you must own and hold. It is your time more than anybody else. Thank you. Asanteni sana.